Good morning. It's Robert Atfield reporting for Port Carling Boats. It's Saturday, April the 24th, 2010, and we're with the Toronto chapter of the Antique and Classic Boat Society Spring Tour in Muskoka, Ontario. We're starting off at the workshop home of Mike Windsor. Mike's a very respected builder and has been in Muskoka for quite a while. Let's go into his shop and see what he has to offer for us. Under repair here is a 1921 ditch pern, 38 feet long. This is not exactly a home handyman restoration repair. It's looking very beautiful with quite a few coats of new varnish. Under restoration here is a 1990 Hacker, built in New York, I believe. And this boat is undergoing a brand new bottom. Seems young to have to repair a bottom on a boat. However, I know sometimes in the manufacture of wooden boats, perhaps the construction techniques are a bit problematic. In any case, when this boat's refinished, it's going to be an absolute gem. Let's go and take a look at the engine in this boat. Chrysler 454. Modern power and plant that certainly will move this boat along very well in the water, I'm sure. The second stop on our tour this morning is to Gravenhurst's Grace and Speed, the Muskoka Boat and Heritage Center. This is a building that's only several years old and was built specifically to house Muskoka's wooden boat treasures. Again, let's go inside and see what they have to offer. On the outside, we see the old wheelhouse from the Islander steamboat that plowed these waters many years ago. As you can see, this nautical museum houses one of the most beautiful collections of in-water antique and classic boats anywhere in North America. I'm sure it's the biggest in Canada and probably rivals Clayton, New York in scope. Now, our lighting is poor here. I hope viewers will be able to see at least some of the beautiful features of these works of art. And tail launches. Let's pause and move the camera down. Some of Muskoka's most famous builders included Duke, Grevette, Port Carling Seabirds, and of course the famous Manette Shields. Our lighting's a bit better here. I believe that some of these boats are on loan, others I expect are on permanent display. We're focusing in on a beautiful Grevette Streamliner. This was really a signature brand of the famous Grevette Boat Company. You note the curves rather than the straight chine. If any of our viewers are inclined to visit Ontario, Canada, then Muskoka is certainly a prime destination. And whatever you do, don't miss Gravenhurst's beautiful Grace and Speed Museum. Before we leave the museum, let's take a quick look at the famous disappearing propeller boat. This is a beautiful example, built in approximately 1921, a beautiful upholstery, and powered by a quote-unquote silent 3-horsepower engine. These boats had really quite a remarkable carrying capacity. There are photos in existence of some 14 to 16 people crammed together in one of these disappearing propeller boats. The advantage, of course, of a disappearing propeller or dippy is that if you hit something under the water, submerged, a rock or a stump, then the skeg lifts up into the boat and avoids damage to the propeller. They certainly were a very popular boat for their time period. Functional and very graceful in the water. Our third stop on this tour is Brackley Boats, also located at the north end of Gravenhurst in Muskoka, Ontario. Paul has a number of boats, also a very distinguished craftsman with quite a history here in Muskoka. He's been doing wooden boats for a long time. Looks like a shepherd in the background. You can see that these shows attract an awful lot of interest. It's like a gentleman's racer almost, with a mother-in-law seat or rear hatch at the back. The boat we're looking at the foreground here is a Gravette. Beautifully upholstered. Obviously having some work done to it, nothing too extensive by the look of it. The boat seems to be in excellent condition. The vessel here that we took a quick look at a moment ago is in fact a 1948 Shepherd, and it's undergoing a complete rebuild. Believe it or not, even the steering wheel on this watercraft is wood. And the craftsman who did it, who's standing in the shop right at this, as we speak, spent a long time producing a brand new wooden steering wheel. When you look at a boat like this Shepherd, very heavily constructed, designed to take major waters in the Great Lakes, particularly Lake Ontario, where the company was originally situated, I believe, in Niagara-on-the-Lake, it makes you realize just how much wood there is in an antique boat. This is going to be really stunning when it's completed. The fourth stop on our tour this morning is in Bracebridge, Ontario, just a few kilometers north of Gravenhurst, and we're going to take a quick look at Patricia Ross's traditional boat finishes. Let's see what she's got on order here. Last year on the tour, Patricia told me she uses Epiphanes or Epiphanes varnish. She really loves the luster that this varnish provides. This is not an endorsement, just a personal preference from Patricia. But she obviously takes a lot of time and care and does a beautiful job with the work she does. Produces mirror-like finishes on her boats. Let's pan around and we'll take a look at another of her works of art. Looks like it just came out of the showroom. Speaking of lunacy, or works of art rather, this is Lunacy by title, by name. Gentleman's Racer, contemporary gentleman's racer in a classic tradition. A beautiful, beautiful boat. Center cluster instrument panel. Looks like a custom wheel. And I'll take you forward to take a look at the engine. No doubt this power plant would push this boat along at probably 50 miles an hour at least. And looks like aeronautical windshields.
He says, because Wendy Week said, well, Ted had talked about it on the phone. There's no way.
Forward jump seat. And once again, Patricia's beautiful multi-coated varnish finish.